morning, traders. Welcome to another session of Market Snapshot. I hope you guys are geared up for the opportunities today, being on a Wednesday, the third day. And so ideally, as traders, we really need to know that we have three types of analysis. You have the fundamental analysis, sentimental, and technical analysis, right? So the fundamental analysis is something that most traders do not consider, and that is a risk because news will always come out, and this could change the market direction, the direction on bias, and a who combines this analysis so that you're able to know where the opportunities will be, right? And in terms of risk management, like at times the best risk management is sitting on your hands. You don't take trades because they do not you don't want to be caught flat-footed. You don't want to be guessing like you're gambling, buying left, right, and center, right? So that's why we have this economic calendar. So every trader should always seek to visit the economic calendar to have an understanding of what could happen, right? So in our case, we have not a high volatile news existing home sales at 5 p.m. And basically, why is this information important? It shows how healthy the economy is. Why? Remember, you cannot buy a home without money, right? So if there's a decrease in the number of houses sold, that tells you the purchasing power is not as it's expected, right? So guys are not able to afford houses, right? And remember, when you buy a house, it comes with other things like there's the arrangement of agents. You'll have to maybe bring in some new stuff for your house, new chairs, a new bed, all these furnitures and everything, right? Basically, it has a ripple effect that, you're buying from different sectors of the economy, right? You're employing guys to come and do some fittings and whatnot, right? So that presents you with a situation where you are able to see, okay, like in this case, the previous number, 4.03 million houses were sold, right? And forecast is that this time around it will be 4 million. So we are expecting the actual number, okay, for the previous month, right? And here we'll want to see maybe if the number is higher than this, that will be good for the dollar. The dollar will strengthen, right? Anything higher than 4 million is good. Anything lower than this is kind of negative for the dollar because it means the economy is not doing so well. Of course, because of that purchasing power, people do not have the finances to buy houses. Remember, at the end of the day, in the US, most of the houses are based on mortgages, right? So you can't take a mortgage if you've not had a plan. If you're unemployed, you can't take a mortgage, right? And even if you're employed, you'll have to weigh so many things like other factors. Maybe it's better to rent than to buy, yeah, and all that. So that is the high volatile news, or is it medium level news that we'll be expecting today. So today it's more of technicals calling the shots. Okay, so with that understanding, let's go to our MT5 and do some technicals. So always note that a good trader is one who combines all this. You don't want to be in a position and all of a sudden some high impact news plays out, and if unfortunately if you're not using risk management, this is where you get to blow your account, right? Okay, so let's look at we'll start off with GBPUSD. Earlier on we had some few analysis from yesterday. We were looking for a possible buy trade and then a sell. Of course the sell didn't play out. It was more of buy, right? So what do we expect moving forward? So let me remove this analysis, go to higher time frames to have a better understanding of where we are at. Look at the daily chart. Let's go to the monthly. Okay, so maybe if I were to map out an area here, that 562, that 562 is an area where we could see some possibility of us having some sellers based on that order block from H4, right? This is a bearish order block, the last bullish candle. And so maybe if I were to look for trade opportunities intraday, right? So I know if you're a swing trader, maybe you're looking at a bullish bias, but intraday, maybe I would want to see, probably want to see a bullish move to this high, right? Test that area and maybe look for sell opportunities. One take profit will be this low. The other one will be yesterday's low, or the moving averages. You can use the moving averages as take profit targets, or even yesterday's low. These are possibilities. So I'll be looking at a bullish move and then a possible bearish move to that take profit 1, and maybe take profit 2. Then I could see a possibility of take profit 3 to yesterday's low. That's a possible outlook on GBPUSD. So anyone who's attended the mentorship class, we know that you can't take trades without confirmations. You only take trades based on confirmation. So in our case, it's only when GBPUSD gets to this high that you can consider a possible sell. But then you want to look at the RSI, maybe even on H1, the RSI will already be at the 70 region. So if you look at the RSI from our past history, the last time it was at the 70 region, there was a possible drop, especially when the trend was selling, right? So that will give us maybe that outlook. If you look at maybe these, then there was that whole drop, right? So the same thing we'll want to see playing out here on GBPUSD. Let's go to USDJPY. Yesterday, we were looking for sell opportunities. There are different levels we had mapped out, right? We're looking at that sell, and then also these are possible sell, and the third sell. We had 3 take profit targets. This one, and this one, and this one, right? So they were based on H4, there was this order block. You can see this order block that was tested. This is a bullish order block, the last bearish candle before a move up that broke structure. When price hit that order block, there was a bullish move of around how many pips? 65 pips, right? And then you can see the moving average acting as resistance here. And that's why you can see this drop. So we anticipate probably USDJPY to come down to 146.05. So let's remove this analysis. So that is a possible target, the moving average. So looking at USDJPY, I probably want to see a test of that low, right? So 146.18. But nothing stops USDJPY from coming up to this area and then maybe selling 147.42. before dropping to these targets. We already have that area and also the moving average could act as a possible take profit target. And then this one, we've seen it from the daily. There's the 50 EMA. So basically, those who've attended our beginner mentorship class, we know, and even the beginners class, we know that you can use moving averages as exit areas, entry and even entry areas. As you can see, USDJPY, this whole July move was courtesy of the moving average acting as support, right? The 800, right? And we can see that 800 was tested a few times. Yeah, June, there was the test of that moving average, and even May, you can see price tested that 800. So when used in the right context, you're able to leverage on that. So we could see a possible move on USDJPY and then drop. Let's look at gold. We were looking for buy opportunities on gold. From our session yesterday. Our first take profit was the Asian high, right? So you can use these highs as exit areas. The other one was this area on H4, and it was a block, order block somewhere around here. From our left, yes, this order block over here. Those are the two areas we were looking for opportunities to sell. Then from H4, you can see gold went to this order block. You can see this one, this bearish order block, which is the last bullish candle before a drop that broke this structure. So those areas were tested, and you can see the close of the hammer, shooting star, right, on gold. So what are we looking at? Let's remove this analysis. Go to the daily. On the daily, we have something is an area probably where I would want to see gold test. So I'll still be looking at a possible bullish move on gold. If gold tests that high, there could be a possibility of bears joining. So I'll be looking at that move. Okay, USDCAD. We were looking for sell opportunities on USDCAD from our training yesterday. Remember, this is part of our support, client support, to train you guys to take advantage of the markets, but using risk management. Remember, this is purely additional analysis. This is not a signal, right? Then we train you based on a system that is verified. So this is what we are looking at on USDCAD, a possible drop. So we can see our first take profit was here, the other one was here. USDCAD went all the way down. Let's see, where did they go to? It went to keeps dipping, right? So let's see from our left, is there something? Yeah, so it's testing this area. This will be considered to be some liquidity area. This is where it's testing. So I could see a possibility of a bullish USDCAD. So let's remove these analyses. Once again, if you're interested in joining our mentorship, kindly go to the link description below. You'll see classes, the FX Pesa morning, FX Pesa evening. The evening class is the beginner's class. If you're totally new when it comes to trading, attend that class. But if you know what you're doing, you're an intermediate trader or advanced trader, you might want to join the mentorship one. It's currently ongoing, right? So here we talk about risk management, talk about trading psychology. Maybe you're dealing with fear, you're dealing with impatience, all those emotions that curtail our progress. We normally have those conversations. So let me look at this possibility. I've mapped out on H4, I can see an order block that has not been tested. And this one will be a bullish order block, the last bearish candle before a move up, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if USDCAD came to that 557, and all of a sudden we see a bullish push. So if I map out take profit targets, I'll be looking at that order block as a possible take profit target. I'll also be looking at the moving average. As a possible take profit area. And finally, maybe 3 if you're looking at a swing trade. Yeah. So I would want to see USDCAD test these that 577 before considering that bullish move, that 5 pips, 70 pips, 109 pips. Let's look at USDCHF. Once again, from our class yesterday in our mentorship class, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., we were looking for sell opportunities on USDCHF. We can see that played out pretty well. This was based, we had 2 take profit targets, one on H4, the other one on the daily. So let's have a look at those targets. Why? So one was last week's low. That was an area where you're looking for opportunities to sell. The other one was on the daily. What was on the daily? Okay, this candle over here, this order block over here, it was also tested. So let's remove this analysis. Map out USDCHF afresh. Remember, your work as a trader is to identify areas where there are buyers, where there are sellers. So in this case, let me see. Let me map out this candle. I can see an order block here on H4. Okay, it's been tested. Yeah, this order block has been tested. It was actually tested during market open, and we can see the close of this candle. Seems like a hammer information. I don't know. Right, so I can see a bullish engulfing. This is a pattern I can define as a bullish engulfing. So I'll probably be looking for buy opportunities on USDCHF. To yesterday's high. Those are possibilities. There's also an order block here. Yeah, so if I were to look for opportunities, I'll probably be looking at buy opportunities. 28 pips, 50 pips, 75 pips. UT100, we were looking for buy opportunities. Now these didn't pan out as expected. So we wanted a sell and then a buy, right? So we can see UT100 came to a moving average. Once again, it's part of our strategy. And all of a sudden, price was held. The last time this played out was on 16th July. Once again, UT100 came to the 800. You can see how the 800 has been holding on the UT100. For more on these guys, actually, we have this session today when it comes to using moving averages the right way, right? We'll have this beginners class from 8 to 9 p.m. So just join description. There's somewhere you'll see those classes. Just register and see you at 8 to 9. So let's remove these analyses. What are we looking at? So there's something interesting. You can see UT100 seems to have been held on the 50 EMA, right? You can see a pattern here. Comes to the 50 EMA, sellers are rejected, buyers enter. See this pattern playing out last week, played out last week, where the 50 EMA acted as support, right? And of course, yesterday acted as support. So what are we looking at? Let me see higher time frames. Okay, H1. H4. I'd probably want to see UT100 come back down to test this area before taking on a bullish move. So I'll be interested in that bearish push to the moving average before considering a bullish move to Monday's high, the weekly high. For those who've attended our mentorship class, we know this is what you call the weekly high, the highest price in the week. So this was the highest price on Monday. AUDUSD. Okay, this didn't pan out as expected. We're looking at a bullish move and then a sell. Well. So this is where like your analysis will fail. But then you cannot enter if you don't have confirmations, right? At times you can have even the confirmations, but the market will just do what the market wants to do. So let's look at it from higher time frames. Seems like AUDUSD is headed to this high. That high, which is the monthly high, right? The high of this month. So there are some sellers here, right? So when AUDUSD gets here, we will see some possible sell. One of the take profit areas will be that one, the Asian low. Then this order block. This is what you call a bullish order block, the last bearish candle before a move up that broke this structure, right? This higher high was broken here by this candle, right? So I would probably want to see when AUDUSD gets there, you could see a possibility of us having a bearish push to those two areas. NZDUSD, we're looking for the same sell here. That didn't pan out as expected. So let's see. What do we expect? Let's remove these analyses. So remember, at times you will lose out on the analysis, but question is, did you enter that trade and why did you enter? Right? In our case, you must enter based on confirmations. If you don't see confirmations, sit on your hands. Right? Confirmations will help you sieve out bad trades. So remember, NZDUSD tends to follow AUDUSD. Okay, so let's look at this high. So we could see a possibility of NZDUSD testing that high before dropping. So maybe we can go with the moving average acting as take profit area. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, maybe those are the two areas I would want to see NZDUSD come to. That's it. Euro USD. We're looking for a bullish move, but then once price got there, that didn't pan out. The dollar was quite strong. Sorry, the dollar was quite weak, and so we can see the impact of that. Let's go to higher time frames. The daily. Has this area been tested? Let's see. Yeah, it has. It was tested yesterday. Is it yesterday or today? Yesterday. So on Euro USD, we could be seeing a possibility of a bearish push. To yesterday's low. Okay, that's it on majors, on gold and Nasdaq. So let's have a look at your questions or your engagements. Remember, you can just go to the video below under description, right? You will see everything that you need in terms of classes. Okay, I think that's it. Hi everyone. See you next week. For those who will be joining the classes, see you in the evening and tomorrow. Bye bye.